Welcome to Study Hall class. My name is Generosity, and I am your Charm School Season 2 winner.
And my name is Tuna Boots. You're fishy delight.
And this is our brand new podcast where we're going to be recapping all of Charm School so that the queers of the community who didn't get to come can get caught up on everything Charm School, Louisville, Kentucky. So, for a quick recap for those who skipped episodes or who just didn't tune into episode 1 or whatever the fuck. Last week, everybody was tasked with performing their signature number, and the runway was signature drag. Berto, Love, and Jackie Candlesticks were in the top 2 of the week, with Berto winning the lip sync, and nobody went home but Andy A quit the competition for a wonderful nose job.
Yeah. Granted. Very, very granted.
Very, very good nose job. So, for week 2 of Charm School, we were tasked with doing Thou Shall Know How to Act Right, where we were assigned into pairs or groups and tasked with acting on stage to iconic scenes from movies and TV show and YouTube videos and all that good stuff.
This is basically like our version of like an acting challenge on Drag Race, I would say.
Yep. And we had to work in these groups to create memorable moments and know the words inside and out. It was encouraged to us also that, like, don't just do the scenes as the scenes were in the show. Like, do your own original take on it and make sure that, like, what you were doing stood out.
We'll get there, but I feel like this was, like, where we really started to see, like, who was putting time and extra thought into this and who was not.
I think extra thought is the big one, yeah, because there were some people
that
like
just did the assignment,
right? And there was also like this week was the week where we would see the people that like had that unique just extra step into their drag, like the people that were willing to go that extra mile to make a scene more like entertaining for the crowd and for everybody. Yeah. And I love this challenge because like
this was going into this was the challenge I was the most excited about. Because I knew there was going to be some goofy-ass scenes that we were going to reenact.
Yeah.
And Beth had some great options, let me just say. Before we get into what exactly we did, but, I mean, we had Scary Movie, Bridesmaids, the
Most Popular Girls in School. There was a Mean Girls scene. There was Pitch Perfect.
There was the scene from When Harry Met Sally, like an older movie.
There was a Barbie scene. Yep. Like there was also a wide selection. There was some older stuff, like older, like early 2000s, like late 1990s scenes. And there was also like Barbie, which was literally like last year, or two ago. So like there was a lot of good options this week. And so you.
Berto was the one that won last week, so he had the privilege of assigning the teams. He did these pretty fair. I was dead staring him in the eyes because one of the scenes that we ended up doing, it was like showcase, and I was like, oh, it was a boy and a girl, and I was staring at him in the soul, and I was like, pick me. So he picked me first, and then we had the powerhouse group of DJ, Diana, and Jen.
Yeah, which, honestly, like, if it was besides you, I knew I wanted, like, Diana in my group. Yeah. Because me and Diana, like, knew each other outside of the competition, and I know she's, like, a very good emoter and performer, so I knew she was going to do great. And, like, also knowing that DJ did comedy the first week and was almost in the top 2 of the week, I was pretty certain that I also wanted, like, DJ. It was between, like, Diana, DJ, Tana, and then I wanted Jackie or Mercy just because I knew them personally, and I knew we would work well together. But I was very happy with this team. We were a team of 3. Also, yeah, it switches between, like, 2, 3, and 4 for some people. There wasn't, like, a huge, like... I don't think those were, like, super planned. It was just kind of, like, whatever...
What scenes needed the amount of people.
Right.
And the next we had Adam and Salty. They were already friends previously, so I think that was fair.
They were very good friends. I think they drove together a lot, so that was very fair.
Same with Lucy and Yasmin.
They're both
from Lex.
Yep, and so they knew each other very well. And also that was very lucky because they could, like...
Practice
together, because, like, it's hard if you're, like, wanting to practice together if you're, like, from Louisville and Lexington. Like, it was much easier for them to probably practice. Then the Wild group, which was Jackie, Sharon, Olympia, and Mercy.
Literally, this group is crazy.
When I like saw this group lineup, I was immediately like, this could go one of 2 ways, because there are like 4 wild people in that group.
Every single one of them just do something dramatically different.
Yeah, dramatically different, and also all of them are dramatic. Like they all do crazy stuff. So I probably, like, had an inkling in my mind that it was going to be crazy, and, like, from what I heard from people in that group leading up to this week, it was very crazy. I pretty much knew from, like, this group's inception that it was going to be crazy. And then lastly, we have Winter and Yamaya, who were paired together. And so I knew that this group was going to be weird because Yamaya is from Louisville and Winter is from
Cincy.
Yeah, so that was a little bit of a struggle.
Kentucky,
but apparently it wasn't even much of a struggle because according to what I heard from Yamaya and Bev and a little bit of Diana, Yamaya like texted in, because we all had group chats, Yamaya like texted in the group chat and like made like scenes and scripts for everything and like had ideas and everything, and Winter never responded.
Fully ghosted.
And then the night of Charm School, it is announced that Winter quit. From what I heard from people, she said that her mom died. If that is true, rest in peace, Miss Winter mom.
She also dropped out after week 1 and Little Miss Everything. So it was like...
That's also the tea that I heard as well.
It was like... then she had COVID for that. It was just too intense excuses.
I'm not going to say they didn't happen because, like, we'll get into what happens to Diana later this season.
Mercy had something.
Mercy and Diana, like, went through it at the end of the season, so I'm not going to say nothing can happen because it's a 10-week competition. A lot can happen in 10 weeks.
Right.
And a lot can happen to anybody. So, all that aside, Winter does decide to leave the competition. Only wish the best to Winter in Cincinnati. She's a fantastic performer. And that's what I haven't
heard of her since.
Yep. And so, based on that, when Yamaya gets to play, they tell her that she's just going to be counted safe for this week. She does not have to do the acting challenge anymore.
Bitch.
And all she had to do was, because she did have the runway, they had her walk the runway, and they called her safe. So, Yamaya moves on to next week. Well, not really, but we'll get into that later. But Yamaya is saved until the next week, and so they do not have an acting challenge this week. But on to the actual challenge, each group did 2 acting scenes. So we all went like one group, then the next group, then the next group, then the next, and then it like went back to the start and we did the second acting challenges in order there. So starting with you and Bert, I'll let you talk about that.
So we had like two pretty different types of scenes. We had a scene from When Harry Met Sally. I believe it is a movie from the 80s, which I've never seen before. But essentially this bitch is like moaning, going crazy, like fake orgasming in the middle of a diner. So it's like, it was funny because it was like, just 2 normal looking people at a date. And then the bitch starts moaning. So I was like, that's why I wanted Berto, because he was a boy. And then we could like have that like boy girl balance.
And you had the big titties on as well.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, like,
it took it there. So
it was not a crutch this week. Like, you fully utilized them, and it felt natural in both of the scenes that you had them in.
So for When Harry Met Sally, the like parts where she's like moaning and groaning, there was parts of her like slamming the table. I slammed the table with my tits. The table was like almost knocking over. And then Berto did really good too. He was like, I told him to like pull his phone out and like record me.
Berto, I was very impressed with this because going into it, I didn't know what to expect because Berto's very like dramatic.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know how that was going to translate to acting.
I didn't know how it was going to translate to acting because I feel like with the wrong people, it could have like translated like if he was with
me
like
and him had chemistry.
If it was like with Jackie and Mercy, it might have been too chaotic. But like I think you and Berto paired really well. Like you were able to tone him down and then also let yourself shine. But he also didn't do bad.
No.
And I think that first scene
stayed afloat.
I think that first scene was great with you just moaning and groaning on the table with your titties.
Like the table almost fell over.
But the second scene, like
so the second scene was the Scary Movie 3 opening scene where Pamela Anderson and other hot blonde bitch. That's like The Ring. You were with Josh last weekend, and then they like start a pillow fight. That was funny. I like literally picked up this like air mattress. It was an air mattress couch.
That was insane. You picked up the whole couch and then just fucking beat Berto with it. And then like you smashed a glass over him.
Yeah.
And then you gave him a giant wedgie at the end. And then perfectly, because there was like the wedgie, I think the wedgie was in the movie as well. Mm-hmm. You perfectly snapped that wedgie back on Berto, and he had the perfect just like little react. That scene was like I would, because you have a clip on that on your Instagram. You can go watch that in her Instagram reels if you want. Like, it literally looks like some acting challenge from Drag Race. Like, the level of perfection on it was insane.
We practiced that. We had the luxury of that specific scene was like a minute in like 45.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as hard to practice, and like the hardest part we needed to nail down was the timing of the wedgie and making sure I had enough time to hit him with the couch.
Which both of them went perfectly. I mean, you guys nailed it. It was
week. So much. I had so much fun.
You were definitely like the star of the group for sure, just based on like not even because of the titties, but because of everything else that you were doing.
Oh, I was like
the titties just added to the funniness.
Like while I was talking to Berto, when we were in character, I was just like caressing the titties.
Yep.
Like,
and then when you like ran and like did like a scared run like away from the couch, they were bouncing really funny. So like I don't think you relied on it. I was very worried that you were gonna rely on it for your scenes, but like it almost they couldn't have if they weren't there during that scene, it wouldn't have really changed much. It just added, so that's what it was perfect. Yeah. You guys did fantastic this week.
This was probably still like one of my favorite nights for sure. This was the most confident I felt throughout the whole competition was this night for sure. I was like, I won. I knew I won whenever I did that Scary Movie 3 thing.
And then with the runway, which we'll get into later. So on to my group, which was DJ, Diana, and me. So our first scene was the Fat Amy scene from Pitch Perfect. We had DJ be Fat Amy because, I mean, duh, you have the two fat bitches of the competition. You have to have them play the skinny popular girls.
Which was so smart.
We're recruiting. We have these dumb flyers that I made with that awful ring picture of Bev.
Who took that? Was that Champagne?
It was I believe it was Champagne. No, it was Umi. It was Umi. Because she texted me about it later and was like, my
Champagne
impact.
And Sid have some rotten pictures of each other in their ring whenever they used to live together. Yeah.
Oh, I need those too.
You never went over to their old house, did you?
I didn't
know. There was a key over there.
I need those pictures though because I want to Photoshop them together.
Champagne. There's one video of Sydney with like the most rotted wig of all time. I think she's just like getting the mail or something, and she's like, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh,
like mother, like daughter. Yeah. So we did the Fat Amy scene, and so we were the popular girls. We had these ugly flyers with Bev on them, and it just said like red impact text Charm School, and we handed them out to the audience. Bev.
So that was like the.
Yeah, we were handing out the flyers like the. Yep. And Bev was plucked by it. And then we had DJ play Fat Amy, which was very funny. You know, there was a couple of like skinny bitches like you, and then, you know, we both, you know, cuddled our fupas. And there were some other great moments in that scene. That was a lot of fun. But my highlight was
definitely
the most popular girls in school.
Yeah.
Because we did the new girl scene where I forget their names. I didn't know this scene super well.
This bitch, you were who was shitting? Was that Diana?
That was DJ, I think.
But I was backstage while they were doing their skit, and I could hear Jen fake vomiting all the way. Like, I was, like, not even right by backstage. I was kind of far off, and I heard you over the damn freaking lip sync going, Hugh!
I love to yell on stage. It's one of my favorite things to do. Just, you know, get the crowd invested.
That was definitely, I think, with y'all. I think with me too, we had like one tame scene and then one crazy scene.
Yeah. I mean, we really put the first scene was great because of the flyers, but the second scene, because I had the cheese whiz too. Mm-hmm. And so I was playing like the ditzy character while Diana and DJ were fighting, and, you know, having their ditzy moment, or their like full-blown fight moment. I was the ditzy blonde in the back, and my brain was just like, what if I'm just spraying cheese whiz? Like, what if I just have a shit ton of cheese whiz? I had a funny moment where I pretended this one, like, one bottle was out, so I threw it away and pulled out another one out of my titties.
Yeah.
I sprayed it all over my face, and then I have, like, at the end of the scene where there's, like, a duh, Trisha moment, and I sprayed so much cheese whiz on the front of my face.
It splashed.
And I splashed it like that purposefully.
That's so good,
all over my face.
I really think what pushed both of our teams ahead this week was like we learned the lip sync, we learned the acting to match along with it, but we also had those little extra tidbits that like...
Yeah, because like Bev said,
we made it drag.
It wasn't just about doing the scenes as is. It was about taking it to a different level and doing those extra things to make us stand out. And I think both of us had that. Like, Diana had a fun little knife prop, and the second scene. I had like the Cheese Whiz thing. We had the flyers.
DJ had the toilet.
DJ had the toilet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this was a very fun week. After I got off stage with the Cheese Whiz, like they were trying to walk. I couldn't walk because I was laughing so hard because I just knew that it was so stupid. I had so much fun with this. Diana and DJ, they were so much fun to work with.
I want to do like a night where we do shit like this.
Oh yeah, I would love to have like an acting night because this was so much fun.
And we could even just like put it into a mix.
Like,
start it off with acting or stop and then act and then go back into a song.
Absolutely. So yeah, I had a lot of fun this week and we did do incredible. So on to next, Adam and Salty. I don't know what their second scene was.
I didn't see
their second scene. I have seen their first scene though. And their first scene was the scene from Barbie where Barbie's crying and they're having the like talk about women, like what women can and can't do.
Did they choose that?
They chose that, and they chose to portray it as, from what I can interpret, because they both came out as pirates. And then, from what I could understand from this scene, they were gay pirates fighting for gay pirate liberation because they had a gay pirate pride flag with them.
What? That's a thing? So was it just a gay flag with the pirate symbol on it?
I think it was like, you know, the Crossbones flag? I think it was like that, but it had like a pride flag or something like. I have no idea.
Hey, they kind of added something else too. I don't know.
They kind of added something else from what the judges' critiques were, which we'll get into later. A lot of it, they were facing each other instead of the crowd.
Yeah,
and that's like a big thing with acting, especially on a stage like this. Yeah. You have to act to the audience. That way they can see your lips. That way they can see your facial emotions. If you're not acting to like the audience, then they can't see what's going on.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, I don't know what they did for their second scene. I've yet to see, like, a clip or I can't remember what they did. But the gay pirate liberation, I will give them credit for going balls to the wall with the idea.
Yes.
And so, up next was Lucy and Yasmin. And I'll let you talk about this because I can't remember exactly what they did. I didn't see any clips of it.
I know the only one that I saw was the bridesmaid scene where I think it was when they were like drunk singing or something. But Lucy was definitely the show stealer. She was still in the show for sure. She was emoting. I feel like if Lucy were to have gotten a different scene, she could have done really well.
Yeah.
Or maybe a different partner.
Because I think
Lucy was emoting very well.
Because Lucy is a very dramatic performer. Like, we've seen her on stage. She's very dramatic. She loves... I mean, she's not an over-actor, but she's kind of an over-actor a little bit. Mm-hmm. And Yasmin's a little bit more, not timid, but, like, demure with, like, her stage presence outside of her. Even when performing, she's, like, very sensual.
I mean, she held her own, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, she wasn't being, like, dog-walked by Lucy, but Lucy was just, like, that's who my eyes were on.
Lucy was the star, for sure. And then, so on to the last group, Jackie, Sharon, Olympia, and Mercy. From what I can remember, one scene was a fight from the Kardashians. It's like all the Kardashians fighting.
Didn't they? I think they just kind of stood there, didn't they?
From what I know, it was like two people were fighting, and then two of the other people were just kind of there. Because I remember one of them was Chris, one of them was... So I don't know all the... I know all the Kardashians. I don't know the scene. I think it was like Kim and somebody else fighting. And one of them was Kim and fighting a lot. One of them was somebody else. But, like, the two people who were just, like, not the main focus of the scene were kind of just sitting there and standing there and not really doing much. Mm-hmm. Which I guess that's kind of the problem with a 4-person group. Like,
that's exactly why I wanted a 2-person group
because
for that reason.
It's harder to work together and it's harder for everybody to have standout moments, especially if you pick a scene like this.
Right.
Where, like, there's primarily only 2 people getting the highlights. So I don't know if that was the best choice for them. I get, like, the Kardashians is iconic and, like...
Also... Yeah. Why didn't... One of the options was, Cindy, the TV's leaking. Why the fuck did y'all not do that?
What? I don't know.
From Scary Movie 3?
I'm not a Scary Movie diva.
Cindy, the TV's leaking. And then they had the whole scene where the Ring was fighting Brenda. I'm beating this white bitch's ass. Another white girl died in the well. That was so good.
They should have done that for Sharonda.
Sharonga.
But so one scene was from the Kardashians, and they did the three-way call for the Mean Girls.
Which I think is a really good choice.
It's a very good choice. From what I understand, it was a little bit chaotic with how they had it set up. Because, I mean, it is a pretty, like... I don't know. With 4 people, it's already hard enough, and then you have 4 of the most chaotic people in the competition doing it.
I feel like I wouldn't have been in the top if I had this group.
Oh, 100%.
Not the people, just that scene specifically, because no one has time to shine, really.
It's hard
with
a 4-person group.
There wasn't much opportunity to emote, to be dramatic. Like, I think our teams had the most, like dramatic, like, physical comedy was, like, the key in this week, I feel like. And I feel like that's where we...
And also, we were smart with ours because, like, with the Fat Amy scene, we made sure that the focus was on DJ, because, like, DJ being Fat Amy. But then with, like, the most popular girls in school, we made sure that, like, Diana had her starring moment with, like, the fight, and then I had my starring moment being the, like, ditzy blonde character.
Yeah.
So, like, we tried to balance it out to where one scene had highlight for one person, one scene had highlight for 2 people.
But it's hard to do that with 4.
With 4, I think that they could have done, like, a scene where 2 people have and then 2 people have, but instead they did one where 2 people have the highlights, and then a second scene where it's all kind of equal, you know? Like, the 3-way call, everybody is kind of equal.
I feel like it would have been hard to not choose that, in a way.
Oh, it would have been, like, if that's, like, because there was only a couple scenes for the 4-person group. It would have been very hard to not choose that scene.
It's so iconic.
But I think that with a 4-person group, you do have to think about, like, how to, like, play the game.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they played the game the smartest that they could this week. And then, Yamaya did not do an acting scene because of winter quitting. I don't know what she would have done either. I didn't get to, like, super talk to Yamaya in the competition. I don't know what she would have done.
I don't...
So, based on the acting challenge, I definitely think that the tops were you and Berto, and then me, Diana, DJ.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
it was kind of clear as day.
It was clear as day that we were the tops. I think it was clear that you were the winner, but, like, we were very right up on your ass on that. And then I think
I feel like it was you right up on my ass.
That's fair. I did good.
You and then Diana and DJ, or Diana and Berto, and then DJ.
Yeah. And then for the bottoms, I think that it was definitely Jackie, Sharon, Mercy, and Olympia's group. Just it with 4 people, it's already hard enough, and I don't think they balanced it out well. And then
because at least with Adam and Salty, they kind of like they had a little bit something different. I now memories are coming back, and I do remember that they did that scene from Miss Congeniality where she's like eating the steak like all gross, but which is not that. That's not a smart choice.
Yeah, and also like
like the night that the things were announced, I sent what I wanted, so I got the best scenes. Like immediately.
We sent ours like immediately once we got them. What we wanted to do. So yeah, I definitely think that Jackie and Sharon and them's group was probably the worst because of how chaotic it was. But I also do think that Salty and Adams was probably the most boring, which to an extent could be the worst. So on to the runway. The runway is flower power, an outfit covered in flowers, real or fake, just has to be flowers. And as a reminder of our ranking system, just in case you missed last episode, golden apple is best of the best, great, fantastic looks. Green apple is a solid good look. Red apple is a boot, not the best look ever. And then a rotted apple, we want to throw away the look and want to burn it.
Yeah.
Speaking of rotten apple,
so poor baby.
This is a grown man. We don't need to be like poor baby.
So if you're just listening to this, it is a
t-shirt and shorts from Walmart.
It's a black t-shirt and black shorts
from Walmart.
And then
like 5 rhinestones on.
There's about maybe 10 in total. Rhinestones, and then there's just like Dollar Tree
flowers,
fake flowers,
and then eyeballs in the middle of some of the flowers.
Yeah, and then like so they weren't like hot glued the best either. So instead of it like being glued at the base, some of them are glued at like the stems, so it kind of looked like a little like droopy.
Yeah, I mean, even just beyond everything, there is just, like, no... Because if this was badly constructed, but, like, there was a concept here, I could excuse it. Like,
it's flower runway, I'm putting literal flowers on.
Like, we'll get into it later in the season, but, like, Jackie's pink runway, like, maybe it wasn't the best constructed, but like the bubblegum monster kind of vibe that they were going for, I can excuse it for that because like there's a concept there. This, I have no idea what's going on.
The eyeballs were a choice.
Because I just don't understand where the eyeballs are. Like, what's the idea?
I'm sure he was trying to take it somewhere, but it didn't go anywhere.
Like, if we're going for one-eyed purple people eater, why are we wearing a t-shirt and shorts? And why is there flowers on it? And then why is there black flowers? And then why is there yellow flowers on the shorts?
Oh yeah, so the flowers on the shorts are from like a whole different store.
Yeah, there's the purple flowers on the top, and then there's completely separate purple flowers on the pants. Flowers. And then on our picture we don't have it, but there's like shoes that are like decently well rhinestoned. But there's no flowers on the shoes either, so.
Which not everybody have flowers on their shoes.
No, I didn't expect that, but like.
But when you're wearing a t-shirt and shorts.
The rhinestones on the shoes didn't match the rhinestones on the shirt. Right. It didn't match the outfit. Yeah. I'm gonna say it. This is the worst look of the season. Yeah, this is a rotted apple. Yeah. Adam, I only wish you the best in life. I think he knows that this is bad too.
I feel a little guilty because he struggled with this one.
Yeah,
finding a concept for this.
Yeah, and so I get that. It is just a little bit of like we have to call. What's that metaphor? We have to call call the kettle black or whatever it said. What's that metaphor? I don't know that metaphor. It's somewhere around there. Like we have to call it what it is, which we have to call it bad. It's really bad. So we'll move on before we go into it more. So next up is Berto.
This was
fun. Berto is like in a marijuana-inspired outfit. He came out with like this giant like marijuana leaf costume. It was like full-on like big marijuana leaf.
And it was stoned.
It was stoned too.
Ripped it off.
And they ripped it off into it's like marijuana pants with like marijuana leaves all over them. And this giant fully encrusted blunt, which this blunt is pussy. This blunt is... I mean, it's sparkled on stage well. Yeah. It looks great. The shoes match. Yeah. And he also has the makeup doesn't match, but he has the glasses, which I think add something to the face that matches the look. I think this is really good. Ooh, I didn't even know. Is that like, does he have that like tattoo normally on his arm with the leaves? Because that like actually perfectly matches the look. Like that matches really well.
I love this look. The only thing I just don't know how I feel about the leggings. It's just like weed print leggings.
They are rhinestone.
Were they?
Yeah, you look at
okay. You couldn't tell in this picture.
There's rhinestone. I wish they were maybe like instead of leggings, like actual pants. Yeah, because you can very much tell these are like skin tight leggings, and that's not the most fly. If these were like full on like pants, then I could have. Yeah, but I mean they're like still really cunt, and they match very well with the look it had. So
now knowing that there were stones on it, it matches. This is a green apple.
This is a very high green apple for me. I think this is a great look, and also a different take on flower to go with like a marijuana.
Yeah,
plant.
Everyone else pretty much went like
floral, like classic florals, like what you would expect. And Berto did a little bit of a different take on it. So speaking on a different take of it, DJ Valentine he's Fireflower Mario from...
Is he?
Yeah, because Fireflower Mario has like the white cap.
Oh, he is white, yeah.
With the white overalls and it's like and the red t-shirt.
My biggest complaint with this is he stoned the fuck out of that Fireflower.
Oh yeah, the Fireflower is insanely stoned.
And then there was maybe like 60 stones and everything.
The Fireflower on the overalls is one of the saddest looking Fireflowers I have ever seen.
Yeah, no.
Because I've done it. It's so easy to like just print out an image and then just like hot glue it on and then rhinestone over top of that. Like it's fairly easy to do that.
Trace.
I don't know if the best idea was free-handing it.
Yeah, no.
And then same with the M on the overalls. It's not like the Mario M. Like the M on the cap, like his hat is the Mario M, but then on the overalls, that's just like an M.
Like math book.
And when you're doing something as like specific and popular as Mario,
you need to have the logo.
Like it's very easy to get the Mario logo and very easy to get it spot on. It's also very easy to get it spot off.
Even print it out and use it as a trace. Like,
right, that's what I said. Like you even just trace it or just hot glue it on and then just trace it off there. Also, the red t-shirt is a little bit wild, but I do like the shoes because they are stoned.
T-shirt on the runway is criminal.
We already went over. So this is definitely a red apple. I don't think it's a rotten apple.
This is a rotten apple for me.
That's fair.
It was a red apple, but then I think... I don't know. He was like... I don't know. He thought he was eating with the... Which the fireflower is like so cool. I want that in my house. If he would have stoned that fireflower, or if he would have stoned his outfit like that, and it would have been as much time he spent into that flower.
Because t-shirt on the runway isn't criminal per se. You just have to bring it to a drag level.
If the overalls were stoned, way, way, way more. Because the shoes are crystallized.
Yeah, the shoes were crystallized, and same for the M on the hat.
Yeah. So it was like two different things were going on.
I'll give it a red apple just because I really like the concept and the direction he was going.
I'll give it a red apple. I'm being harsh.
I think it was just maybe, not the best execution of the concept, and I think it could have been taken farther. Up next is Diana, and I kind of have some more notes as a DJ where, like, I love the idea of this. She's going for, like, this, like, swimmer, like with the floral head cap.
Called, like, the dancer?
Synchronized swimmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, going for that very classic kind of vibe. I just have a couple notes of, like...
It's just simple.
It's simple, and also, I just wish everything matched, because there's a disconnect from the swimsuit and the head cap and the boots.
Yeah.
Because, like... The flowers on the hat aren't the same flowers as on the swimsuit.
Yeah.
And then the flowers on the swimsuit aren't the same as the flowers on the boots.
I feel like if everything were to match, it would be... Yeah, I kind of would...
I mean, like...
I would love it.
We think about, like, Katya's, like, swimwear, like, latex look from Drag Race, and that, like, everything matches and it looks really great.
Like if it was a different silhouette bathing suit, if it was, like, one of those bathing suits that had, like, it's like a one piece, but there's, like, a skirt on the bottom.
Yeah.
And if that matched the cap on top, I think this could have been a really good, because, like, no one else went this route.
I think even if she just matched the headpiece, like, the head swim cap, to, like, be that blue with flowers on top of it as the swimsuit, and then match the boots to that as well, I think that it could have been really fun if it just all matched, because there's just a disconnect.
Maybe a little bracelet with the same flowers on the cap.
Right, or, like, just something, because I think it's just it's a little bit simple, and if you're going to go simple, at least have it, like, everything match.
Right.
But
I love this concept, though.
Love the concept, and it's a very fun idea, and it's very Diana to go with, like, this fun concept and idea.
Very. Oh, my God.
So, Jackie's doing something that we're going to see kind of a lot on this runway of, like, my head is the flower, and then my body is green and the stem of the flower.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
The headpiece is easily, I think, probably one of, if not my favorite, headpieces on the runway.
Yeah, this is the perfect example of, like, having a simple article of clothing, but... Because, like, the dress itself is just a simple green...
It's just a green sequin dress.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it is.
But the effort into the headpiece, into the makeup, it, like...
The makeup
that's
looks
what made it drag. That's what made it impressive. Like,
the makeup is absolutely
It literally looks like the center of a flower.
Yeah.
It's the yellow... What are those called? Anthras?
Stamen? No. I just graduated college. I should know this. The stamina.
Cynthia Kiss.
And also this bob is evil, but I love it.
Oh, the bob is criminal. But it blends in with the headpiece.
It blends in very well. So I think this is very well accessorized and everything from the waist up, I will say.
Oh, the green necklace and the green earrings?
The green necklace, and I think the gloves were a dark green. I wish the gloves were the same kind of green as the stem.
In this picture, they look black.
Yeah, and I do just somewhat wish there was something else on below the dress, because it is just kind of...
Maybe like a green legging.
A green legging, or like vines going up. Like,
yeah, vines.
Because I did that for one of my later runways, and that looked really good. But this is a very high green apple for me. Like, I really like this headpiece.
For sure. A very high green apple.
Yeah.
I feel like if this was like either a floor length gown.
Oh my God! If this was a floor length gown,
this would have eaten. It would have been basically like down. It would have been like mine.
Yeah, but also I think that. Yeah. Either way, I think this
needed to be on the legs.
Something needed to be on the legs. But either way, this is a very high green apple, because
that headpiece was crazy.
Neck up, this is one of the best things. Ugh, insane.
From scratch.
Scratch. Like, because they make a lot of their stuff DIY. They do not get, like, anything, like, bought usually. No. They do everything themselves, and it's insane.
Very high green apple, for sure.
So next up, we have me as Generosity.
This is what I think of when I think of Generosity.
So this is a
sparkly,
This gown is Ryan's. It's like a purple gown. I've had this since like April.
This is a bad picture though.
It very bad. So we get a lot of the pictures from Matthew for the runway. Thank you, Matthew, for taking photos of almost every runway.
Absolutely, yeah, you making this possible.
The only problem is that Matthew does not really catch the best photos of me a lot of the time. Week 1, Matthew did. There was like no good photos of me on this runway. But this dress is incredible. I had this dress since like April, and I finished adding the flowers to it.
You added those flowers on it?
There was like some of the flowers at the bottom, but it was not fully up the dress.
That really took it there.
Yeah.
The way you stoned this and the stones that you chose for this, the jewelry, the headpiece on top.
Yeah.
This was right before your makeup evolved. I think if you had your now mug in this
down,
it would have been crazy. It was crazy. This is still crazy.
Yeah, because I mean, this is insane. It is really. I'm very proud of this, and I'm very proud of like this is probably pretty much quintessential me of like sparkly princess.
I loved like seeing this on stage. The gloves are sparkly too.
The gloves are sparkly. Yeah,
the little shoulder pad moment. Like
it's like shoulder sleeve pads, like those things that like drape over the shoulders. The only thing I wish I didn't have that like wand scepter thing that I carried on the runway. It doesn't really match anything. It doesn't really add anything.
If it was like 4 times bigger.
Yeah, it needed to be like 4 times bigger or had some sort of like flower elements on there. But either I don't hate it. It's just
you wouldn't want to have glued like a little flower on that.
Right. It would have had to be like a whole thing. But either way, I will say I think that minus the photo, I think this is like a great look, and I'll give it a golden apple.
This is a golden apple for sure.
Because
I think one of my favorite Jen looks for sure.
Yeah, because the dress is absolutely
this
gorgeous.
Look in person was crazy.
Yeah,
just the way it sparkled, like you looked like you were a little flower fairy that fell off your petal. And you were gonna go like get the boys to come to your poison.
I will say Sydney scared the shit out of me because when we were doing critiques, which by the way I was in the top, when we were doing critiques, Sydney got past the mic and she was doing my critiques and she goes, "Jen, turn around for me." And like my heart sank to my bottom because she said it's so serious. I thought that I was about to be shot point blank with a gun. Like I thought I was about to die. And then Sydney goes, "Look at the stonework. Like it's impeccable." And like just went in on my stonework and my craftsmanship. And I was like, that was like, because it was my... I was very worried.
Tell you spent time on that.
I was very worried going into the competition about like if I was going to be received well or not, and I just wanted to have like at least one moment of like being received well. I would have been fine with getting eliminated if I just had one moment of being like seen. And after this, like I fully felt like seen by the judges and the audience, and so I think that like I was very happy with how tonight went for me. So on next to Lucifer, she's doing kind of like what I said with like my head is the flower and my body is the stem. I really love the headpiece.
I think the only thing I don't like about this is it just needs more stones.
Yeah,
like not to say that everything needs to be stoned. It's just when you're gonna stone other things heavily, you got to pull it through. But
or
this
like
looks crazy
because like the fabric is on the body is the problem because it's not a matter of if it's stone or not, but this fabric is begging for stones.
Yeah,
because like it's supposed to be like a nude illusion, but
the stripper heel,
the
Vons up the legs,
like there's a big
ass headpiece, the big old hands.
There's a lot of great elements to this look, and the photo she posted on Instagram, incredible.
Bitch, like in a bush.
She looks great. So I will say, like, she looks great here. I just wish there was like one extra little like thing, like the stones, to take it. Like,
I feel like maybe if she had like a sheer fabric, like drapery,
happening. Like a different fabric for the bodysuit or stoned. I think I would have been fine with it, and I'm still fine with it. This is great. I think this is a very high.
This is a go.
Very high green apple.
A very high green apple. For sure.
Yeah, I love the headpiece. So great job,
This
Lucy.
Next one.
Oh my God, Mercy! It's crazy that we have me, Mercy, and Lucy back to back because that's just like runway divas right there.
So I'm after Mercy too. No, I'm not.
So Mercy's doing this. I can only describe it as like high fashion business scarecrow.
Very.
Because like, how else would you describe this look? And even with that description, it is still this look is impeccable.
So
those are real flowers.
They ripped apart a pair of slacks and used the leg pieces as their arms, so it's like a very loose fit. And then just in each hand is a whole bouquet of flowers. And on top of that, there's a bouquet split between her boots. And then there's flowers tucked into the sleeves up top, up in her chest.
And then she has a rose in her mouth.
And then her mug.
Which the mug is great.
The little sprouts in her hair.
Mm-hmm. And the little sprouts in her hair. Like, this look is impeccable. The fact that it's
crazy.
Real flowers takes it to the next level. It's so high fashion.
Yeah.
Like, it's not what I think of when I think of Mercy, because, like, we'll get into that next episode. But this is an impeccable look.
Yeah. No,
and,
this
like,
was amazing.
This was a high fat. Mercy gave a lot of moments this season of, like, this could be seen on a genuine runway. Mm-hmm. This was one of them. I'm going to give it a golden apple. And it's not even the best that she's looked all season. And that's the crazy part.
Yeah, I mean, she kind of ate us all up.
Every single week. She ate us every single time up. This is a golden apple for me.
This is a golden apple.
She looks goddamn incredible. Fantastic job, Mercy.
Yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
So on next to Olympia Gold. And so she's going with, like... Okay, isn't the flower that she's, like, wearing marigolds? Mm-hmm. Is that what she's... Because it's either, like, marigolds... or sunflowers. I can't tell which one she's doing, but I'm going to assume marigold because, like, Olympia Gold and the pun is really nice. Mm-hmm. And so I think the dress itself is really cute. From what the judges said and from what I can remember, the back there was not enough flowers.
Yeah, so she added, like, there's these little baby yellow flowers. And, like, this front angle, this dress is gorgeous. I think it just needs a little bit of extra stones because she did have some stonework on it. My thing is not everything needs stones, but if you're going to have them, go balls to the wall with them.
Yeah, and I think that, like, we need, like, gloves or something on this outfit. Because, like,
she had yellow gloves with the same
gloves with the same I'm not going to say, like, every outfit needs gloves, but, like, with this style of dress.
We are glove girls, aren't we?
We're glove girls, but, like, also, there's just gloves help the silhouette of shoulders.
It does, yeah.
Because not to say you need it, but like when you are born male dressing up for
us penis wielders, silhouettes are important.
When you are born male, and you are trying to dress traditionally feminine, you want those shoulders, like, especially if you have, like, big, broad shoulders, you want them to be minimized. And the way you do that is either adding stuff on the shoulders or adding stuff, like, on the arms, like gloves, to help cut that silhouette off. Mm-hmm. So this outfit is kind of, because she doesn't have a necklace on, there's nothing, like, on the shoulders besides, like, thin, tiny straps, and there isn't anything on the arms. So I think, like, some light yellow gloves would have been great. Yeah. I think the hair is cute and, like, the little headpiece is on. This was probably the worst that her mug looked.
No.
Which week do you think she had the worst mug?
The alien. Hands down.
Okay, that's fair. This was second worst. This picture,
her mug looks good now.
This picture, the mug looked good. There's some other pictures.
I don't remember her mug being bad this night.
I'll pull it up real quick.
Oh, damn.
Actually, no, I don't have a photo of it. Either way,
this is a very, like, low safe green apple for me. I enjoyed the silhouette. I think she needed a few more elements to, like, elevate it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But the color goes well with her. I think if it was finished with more flowers, more stones, some gloves maybe, it would be really cute.
Yeah, I'll give it a very low green apple, just because, like,
it's not a boot. She could perform in this.
Yeah.
That's not a boot.
Because I think the front of this dress is incredible enough to be worthy of a green apple, and I think the rest of it doesn't, like, super take away from that. So it's a very low green apple. It's not my favorite thing I've ever seen, but I would actually probably wear this dress if it, like, I would probably accessorize it better.
I would too.
Yeah. So
I love a little short dress.
A low green apple. So Salty, there was no good photos of this look from what I could find. They're going for, like, this, like, hippie kind of vibe from what I can understand.
This was cute for Salty.
It was cute.
Compared to him last week, he put in some effort into this.
There was effort here, and I can see the concept. The one thing I will say, this shirt was... Criminal. This shirt, because it had
the pants were so cute.
The pants are actually really cute, and with the flowers on them, like, if there was a matching top with that,
like a two-piece set.
Because these pants are, like, these gorgeous, like, you know, floral print, like, bright floral prints, and then this top is just, like, a plain pink t-shirt that you cropped and put some unmatching flowers on. And then there was, like, tiny rhinestones that said "The Salty Sparrow." But when you're doing letters on a stage, they need to be huge. Like, we'll see from Lucy's runway next week, the denim runway. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a way to do letters right on stage. I don't think this is one of them. I will give this a low 2, or a low green apple just because I like a lot of the elements on this. And
this was an evolution for him.
I love those pants, and I do like that the heels match as well.
Mm-hmm. I agree with a low.
And there's a concept to this. A concept can save a lot if I can see what you're going for, and this is good.
This looked like something he would wear, and it's cute.
So on next to Sharonda List, and so she's doing like a waitress kind of vibe because it's flour power, but she's also doing flour as in like
bakery,
the baking ingredient.
Yeah, which I was kind of confused about because it was like if you were gonna go with flour, then you should have been a full cook. But she had like a floral dress, and then.
I really love the idea. It's kind of like the Joey J situation where it's like IV bag, like that thing that she had, where it's like I can see where you're going with it, and I like the concept.
It should have been one or the other.
It should have been one or the other, or there should have been
I don't hate the dress.
I don't hate it, and I also like because she's also a very musical theater girly. It's giving The Waitress, the musical. So I like that for her. It's given that specific vibe.
Maybe if there was less flowers on the dress and a few on the waitress little white thing.
I also think the apron is a little bit weird. I think it's a little bit boxy. If it was one of those like cutesy demure, like one of those aprons, like one of those cutesy demure ones where it's like you know what I'm talking about? Like the one with like all the embroideries on it and like like one of those cute aprons. It would have been fine, but this literally, I mean, it looks like just like a piece of white fabric.
Well, yeah, it's not him. I see the scraggles.
Yeah, so I think that I'll give it another low green apple because I think that the concept of like flower, and I don't think it's horrible. Like
I think if there was some more time in this,
right, or like a little bit more like conceptualizing of the outfit itself, and like a little bit more time into the details, it would have been great.
Soft green apple, for sure.
Soft green apple,
low green apple.
And so up next is Tana Boots doing the kind of like flower is the head and then green is the body.
Also, his picture is not flattering.
I think it's flattering, but I mean, you look incredible in this look. The headpiece is great. It frames your face beautifully. I mean, you're kind of the mug of the season minus, like, Jackie. Like, you're the most, like, stamped mug of, like, the classic, like, you have the most signature mug out of everybody in the competition. Yeah. And so, like, framing that face is great. The dress is it's a beautiful satin.
I fully encrusted. Like, I think me and Jen both we were the stoned girls this week. Cause we were,
of the season.
Yeah. I mean, I had a flower headpiece around my head with 5 petals, and front and back were fully stoned.
Mm-hmm. And the gloves matching, like, that's the detail that takes it all the way there for me.
The gloves had 3 petals each, and they had the same green. I bought an extra of this green dress, so I could have green fabric to use.
Love.
So that's where the gloves, and then the, like, face kini in the back came from. And then I don't know. I loved Static Rod. Go to their Instagram. They are a freak of nature. I love Static so much. I need to get
something from Static because they do insane stuff.
Quirky craziness. Just like random like sculptural. They're really really good at headpieces too. But this is one of my favorite outfits I have. It's just so nuts. This is like. It gives, like, the flowers in Alice in Wonderland that we're singing.
Yeah. It's also low-key giving, like, a Demogorgon vibe.
Yeah, the shape of the flower.
The shape of the flower and the color of
I could easily, like, grunge this up and distress it and give it, like...
Don't do that.
I'm not gonna. It's too
I was
glamorous.
about to say, do not do that. It's a gorgeous flower headpiece. This is definitely a golden apple for me. Like it's not even your best look of the season, but like it's so instantly memorable and it's so insanely polished for what it is that like I can't even knock it. You just look incredible in it. Like you look incredible.
Thank you.
And the body is there. Like you're always corseted and always gonna have body.
I have to have a corset on.
Yeah.
I would give this a golden. This was I put a lot of effort into this one. This is probably this and probably week 4's runway is what I probably stoned the most.
Yeah.
This is a lot of time, and I used like 2 different sizes of stones for the green. I used like 3 or 4 different sizes of stones for the pink. I had yellow stones. This was a lot of work. It paid off.
Yeah, I think you look incredible in this look. Yeah, no notes. So golden apple across the board. So up next we have Yasmin. I think she's trying to go for like My head is the flower and my body is the stem.
It's a big stem.
I don't know. I think it's just the color of the fabric that's throwing it off for me. Because it's such a bright, like, neon green that it, like, kind of takes it away.
It's like grass green.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the animated Minecraft grass green. You
Google search the color green, it's that.
And then...
to be fair, I love the stonework on this.
Oh, the stonework is incredible on this.
Like, the way it's, like, spread out.
I don't know if she stoned this or somebody else did, but, I mean, it looks incredible.
I love the varying sizes of stones.
And the ripping, like, on the outfit is incredible. Like, where those holes are on the leg and the thigh and the breast, it looks great. Yeah. This bob... I've seen her in this bob a couple times, so I won't say...
went to the same store.
To the bob store.
Yeah. This is why I don't... I'm always like, let me get some short hair.
And then it looks like her.
She looks good.
The bob looks good on her. It's just
the bob look crazy.
Oh, yeah. And even then, it looks a little bit crazy on her. Also, I don't know what she's holding, because she's kind of holding it like it's a clutch. And
it's like a blob of flowers.
It literally looks like a blob of flowers, but she carried it on the runway like it was a clutch.
But I love the red bra poking through.
Yeah.
I kind of wish, like, how she has the slits on her legs, she had like a red lace bodysuit underneath.
Yeah.
This is a green apple for sure. This is a performance number. I've seen her wear this since. She's given body yaddy yaddy. I wish it was more flowery.
Yeah, because it kind of looks like an outfit that she had before that she just made flowery, like fully flower. But she does look great in it. So I'll give it a green apple, yeah. So Yamaya, so here's the thing.
This is gorgeous.
I really love this look. There is just one tiny little detail that would have taken this over the edge if she had replaced that white hoop skirt with a yellow, orange, or a red one. Yeah. Because she's wearing, like, this gorgeous, like, red, yellow, orange, like...
crochet.
It's a crocheted top and then, like, a giant hoop skirt on the bottom with all of these flowers over top of it. And the crochet top is amazing. It looks so cute. The flowers on the hoop skirt are incredible, and she looks gorgeous in it. The one thing is that there's that white hoop skirt poking out, and it instantly makes it look super DIY. If she had just replaced that with, like, a red, an orange, or a yellow hoop skirt, it would have hidden a lot of those, like, white spaces that we can see, and it would have just been incredible. So, I mean, I'm still going to give this a green apple because
This is a green apple for sure. She looks gorgeous.
She looks great, and this top is gorgeous. This hair on her is gorgeous.
I mean, this was her last week, but this is the best she looks.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. I think this was, like, fully a moment that I could see her in.
And that is the last of the runways.
So, based on the runways, who was the best? There was a lot of good ones on this runway.
Top of my head, me, you, and Mercy.
Yeah.
Jackie's up there. Berto's up there.
I think that's it. Yeah.
That's top of my head.
Yeah, mine is like you, me, Jackie, Mercy, and Berto for sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's about all of my head. And then the bottom of the list, I think it's Adam. It has to be Adam. DJ.
Yeah,
I think DJ's there for the fire flower moment.
Yeah.
And then we'll give a third spot. I'll give it to... I don't want to say Diana, but I think I might give it to Diana for me personally. Just because I feel like there's just such a huge disconnect between all the three elements of the look. And
if at the end of the day, it's the bathing suit.
And the bathing suit wasn't even stoned.
Yeah. There was no appliques.
There wasn't even any flowers on it. It was just a floral print.
Yeah.
So I'll give it to Diana. I love you, but I think you know the runway. So after the runway, judges get to our critiques, and our guest judges for this week were Sydney Hampton and Vic Leon.
Both who are actors, so it was very fitting that they were here for this.
Actors, icons, innovators.
Two very supportive people in the community.
Yeah, because they love to, like, give back to the community and make sure that everybody, like, because Sydney's been very helpful towards me especially, but she really does try and make sure that everybody...
She's helped a lot of people in this community.
She's helped a lot of people, and especially her work with the Louisville Pride Foundation and, like, the food pantry there.
Yeah.
Like, they do insane work over there. So shout out to Sydney and Vic for just being like community icons and wanting to help people.
So based on the judges' scores of the night, the top 4 were me, Jen, Diana, and Berto. We called that. I mean,
based on the runway too. Like I think maybe, I mean, the top 5 being like us 4 and then DJ probably.
Yeah.
I think like with DJ's runway, I think it was just slightly worse than Diana's.
I think Lucy was right there too.
Yeah, and I think Lucy was pretty close up there. So I think it could have went any sort of way. But I do agree with the top 4 because I think me and Diana had standout moments. Berto did very well keeping up with you and had a great runway. And then you obviously killed the night. And I think that, and the bottom 4, was Salty, Adam, Olympia, and Sharon. I think all of which I do agree with, just because I think that Olympia and Sharon were, I mean, their group was probably the worst, but then Jackie and Mercy had incredible runways, and then Olympia and Sharon's were just kind of not
up to
par. And then Salty and Adam had, I mean, Adam's was a bad runway, Salty's was good for him, and then their acting challenge was kind of,
it was just low energy.
And when you're doing, like, a challenge like this where you have Tana, like, going crazy and me and Diana and DJ going absolutely balls to the wall, like, cheese whiz, you have to do something to stand out. And if you're not going to be high energy, it's just not going to work out. And then the critiques, I think that they were
valid.
They were valid. I think they were pretty nice, though, because I think that they could have, like, torn into Adam's look and, like, you know, they were just kind of like, I love the shoes.
I think there was a little bit of, it took us a bit to get to where we were. The beginning of this competition was very similar to how Charm School Season 1 was. Yeah. It was like very All-Star 7.
Yeah, like giving a bunch of, which the only thing that they gave super negative critiques was Estelle gave super negative critiques to Olympia on her mug. Like, that was a pretty harsh critique throughout the season of Estelle going in on Olympia's mug, which I think it was like from a place of like,
I want you to grow.
Right, because she can see like because Estelle's mug is gorgeous, but it's also taken her like, I mean, she's always had a pretty good mug, but it's taken her a while and a lot of practice and effort. So I think she was just like seeing herself a little bit in Olympia and just wanting her to like blossom from that, because she knows that Olympia
I think that was Olympia's thing throughout this whole competition, was like, she is like the epitome of potential, in my opinion. Like, she is such an amazing performer.
And because she's only recently started out too. Like, she only recently started at open stages, and she's already
once that bitch's
mug, and then once she like, I feel like discovers who she is as a fashion like art, like
her vibe.
When she discovers like her vibe in drag and like super locks in on that, bitch is a playmate. Like, so I think that like the critiques were pretty valid. They did go pretty harsh in on Olympia's mug, but I think that Estelle was just doing it from love. And I also think that I remember this week was like the epitome of like, I like this, it needs more stones. Because you remember they gave that critique to everybody this week. Like, besides you, I mean, you had you and me on stage, where you, me, and Berto, where like everything was stoned down, and then the whole bottom 4 basically had like no stones on it at all. And then you have the like Diana in the top as well, who also probably needed some stones. I think it was pretty like, you know, just comparison, like you can see who's stoned down.
So after everything came down to it, they decided as me as the winner.
Which, like this was pretty. Me and Diana had our moments. You power washed everybody else.
I was very confident with the Scary Movie scene. That was like fucking. I was acting as Pamela Anderson. Yeah. With my tits on.
With the big tits.
I was like the epitome of in my element. Like,
you were incredible this week, and the runway on top of that solidified it. You did incredible this week. I knew I was perfectly fine with not getting the win this week, because I was just so happy to get good critiques.
You were right there though. Like, whenever we went into this, it was like literally like me and Berto, and then it was y'all's group where I was like, they could beat us.
Yeah, so I 100% agree with your win. And so that means that me, Berto, and Diana are safe, because we're not on the bottom. And then after the winners, they decide that Adam Skywalker and Sharon DeList are safe. And so that makes Salty Sparrow and Olympia Gold the bottom 2 of the week. I kind of agree with it.
Maybe not Olympia, personally.
I didn't see their scene, so I don't know how well Olympia acted in the scene.
I don't think her runway was as deserved as the bottom as maybe, say, Adam.
Yeah, but they did have the worst challenge for sure, because I think that Adam and Salty's was low energy, but Olympia's
just my sister, and I was rooting for her.
That's fair, and I was rooting for her as well too. Like, I think it took me a while to be like, maybe, some of them deserved it this week. But
I felt like it was low key an opportunity for them to be like, you learn from this. Well, how did she go?
What?
Tyra Banks.
Oh yeah, learn something from this.
Yeah, it was very that.
Damn, I should have won the acting challenge. So yeah, I think
you want something else.
Yeah, that's true. So, they, Salty the Sparrow, not Salty the Sparrow, the Salty Sparrow and Olympia Gold are the bottom two, and they lip sync to Let's Have a Kiki. I mean, I think this song was just more in Olympia's element than Salty's. I mean, it's just like a dance song.
Yeah.
And so
and that's what she does. Those are type of songs that she does.
Right.
So.
So Olympia, did her thing to the song. She did the Olympia Gold routines, and then Salty Sparrow did a Salty Sparrow routine, which is fine. It's not Salty's vibe. And so after the judges convene, the first eliminated person of Charm School is, in fact, the Salty Sparrow. Which we'll get into later this season. Salty is eliminated now, but due to some shenanigans next episode, Salty Sparrow is not the pork chop of the season. Because if we don't consider Orion's Story the pork chop of season 14, Salty Sparrow is not the pork chop of Charm School season 2.
Elliot with 2 T's.
That's a whole different season.
Yeah, same thing happened though.
So,
and me the Cotton Eye Joe. That video's crazy.
And Dancing Diva down if she wasn't Miss 3K.
The white people in that room were living.
See, I think that Salty did lose the lip sync, but we'll see more Salty later this season based on some shenanigans next episode. So yeah, I can't be mad at Salty getting eliminated because he does come back. So
I don't think there was any drama regarding this one.
There wasn't. Let me try and think. I mean, besides the Yamaya Winter stuff, there wasn't any drama. All the groups pretty much got along. The only
good vibes backstage.
The only tea that I really heard was that the practicing for Jackie and them's group was pretty all over the place. Apparently Sharon was a little bit. Not just Sharon. I feel like I heard that pretty much everybody was all over the place with ideas. Which, when you have 4 people in a group, and then the 4 people in that group are and
we all have jobs and shit.
Right. And the most chaotic, creative people are in that group.
Yeah.
It's gonna be messy and crazy, and there's probably gonna be some conflict. So, I will say, it was probably a little bit messy. There wasn't any big drama or tea this week from what I can remember.
Mm-hmm. This is one of the most, chill weeks backstage.
Yeah. Because we were all just kind of, having fun with it.
This is before the stress hit.
This challenge was so much fun, and it was early on in the competition when I don't think eliminations hit as hard yet.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think this was pretty chill. Next week, however, we will get to it on the next episode. Next week was a whirlwind of drama, including
several people dropped, right?
2 people dropped. One person, I won't say career exploded. But
we'll get there.
We'll get there when we get there next episode. So yeah, next episode is officially the Styles of Dance Challenge. And so that is week 3 of Charm School, and we will be getting into it. We will be getting into it next week on Genuine Opinion. I want to thank Tana for being on this podcast with me. This is so much fun, and Are you pulling up? And I want to thank you for listening to our podcast. You are one of the most erotic people I've ever known.
Copyright.
So we will see you guys next episode
Bye,
of Genuine
Divas.
Opinion. We love you. Mwah.